So you want to change your life, whether you are going through transformation, whether you are in a happy place. You might be looking to reinvent yourself. You might be feeling stagnant. It's time for a career change. You're stuck trying to be just one role in your life. Any of these things stand out to you, you're here at the right channel at the right time. I got you. What's up, everybody? I am Latoya, aka L Bliss, and welcome back to my channel. Here, it's all about empowerment, motivation, inspiration, affirmation. It's really for a community of women who are in various stages of their lives looking to be happy. My channel is all about finding bliss, finding your bliss, what that looks like to you, figuring out your flow in life, and really ultimately seeking that ultimate and supreme happiness. So many of us are in a space where we might not know what to do. We feel very stagnant, or we feel very charged up to do something different. Either way, we are all experiencing something intuitively telling us that we need to make a change. I'm going to give you a few tips on how to change your life in a matter of 90 days. I'm a fan of reinvention. I think for me, I'm in a space myself of reinventing myself again. Recently undergone the biggest transformation or reinvention, and it's still going on. So I'm excited to share these tips that have truly helped me to get to a space where I'm confident in making the change in life, and I'm looking forward to really what's next. Number one, you have to develop some sort of routine. I am a huge fan of developing morning routines. For years, I have been not even just toying with the idea, but I have literally been rising at 5 a.m. pretty consistently for the last probably 4 to 5 years. That mastery of waking up at 5 a.m. And this was the time that worked for me. Everybody will be different, but figuring out what's that time that you can wake up in the morning and develop real habits that will help you to be more consistent with yourself. Because before we can make a change, we must practice consistency. We must have discipline in areas of our lives. That 5 a.m. morning routine is key, and it has been key in helping me in so many ways. Master your mornings. Mornings are such crucial times for spiritual practices, for stillness, mindfulness, for breath work. You want to dominate your day, but first you need to have those mindful mornings where you're practicing being still, you're practicing, you're saying your prayers, you're sitting in a space of gratitude. You are controlling what you are consuming at the start of your day. You're not picking up your phone and scrolling right away in the morning. You are influencing yourself. You're only influenced by your thoughts. And sometimes that's a good and a bad thing, but those mornings are the more that you have these repeated behaviors that you're going to get up, you're going to get dressed, you're going to make your bed, you're going to pray, you're going to meditate, you're going to do yoga, you're going to go on a walk, you're going to drink a green juice, whatever that is. The practice and the consistency of that is going to spill over into everything else in your life. One of the things I love to do is journal as well, and getting consistently with dumping these things that we have in our brains, so that we, as we go about our day, we have a fresh, clear, clear mind, okay, to go into our day in a space of gratitude. We know that there are conditional things that are going to happen along the way, but you'll be grounded in love, and you'll be able to set a great intention for your days. This is going to be key in making those changes to your lives in those 90 days, developing a strong morning routine. You want to develop some type of system to where you are moving your body. We hold so much, especially us women, we hold so much stagnant energy in our hips and in our bodies. And it's important for us to find movement, find breath work so that we can move that energy, so that we can heal our internal body. We can let go of things in our shoulders and our necks, and release the tension of the day. Working out, Pilates, yoga, stretch classes, going on runs, walks, walking every day. It is so needed. That is a beautiful part of developing that routine, especially in the mornings. Dominating your day means waking up early, going to get your workout in, and you already have a win going into the day. Another tip for you is you're going to have to dig really, really deep. You're going to have to do a little shadow work. The parts of you that are hidden, that you don't want to see, that you might hide under a rug, the part of you that you're not so forthcoming about, the hidden things, okay, that you see is there. It's following you along everywhere that you go. The light, the sun is going to show that shadow, but a lot of times we don't tend to those shadows. So you want to dig deep and get to the root of some of these feelings of stagnation, of depression, of unhappiness, of anxiousness. Really, after developing that routine and finding some type of activity where you can be still, right? Stillness, well, meditation, those things, they help to bring clarity. But that stillness also allows you to sit with yourself, sit in it, okay, which is very hard. A lot of people don't get to this part because it is uncomfortable, it's uneasy, it don't feel good, but it is so necessary. You want to be brave, you want to make a big life change in 90 days, do the shadow work. Okay, there are lots of prompts and journals that have been released. One of them went popular on TikTok. Grab that because it's going to ask you the questions. That's the part about the shadow work. It's going to get personal. It's going to get you to be in the most vulnerable space because it's going to ask the questions, those deep rooted questions that you might not even know to ask yourself. Or when you ask, it's going to bring up uncomfortable feelings, sad feelings. It's gonna bring up shame. It's gonna bring up hatred. It's gonna bring up anger. Whatever those things are, it's gonna be good to uncover. Maybe you're gonna talk to a therapist. Maybe you have a confidant. Any of those things, in order for you to face yourself, to sit with yourself and uncover these truths, okay? Because they're just truths, okay? And they are about you, so it might feel a little weird, but in order to make that big leap and to let go and to release these feelings that have been following you along since you were a little girl, work has to be done. So you got to dig away at these things. You have to open up that can. You got to let it out, and you have to learn to heal, right? Develop tools so that you can learn to rid yourself of these things. You're going to find the resources that are needed in order to help you heal. But that shadow work is so necessary in order to be confident in your next step, your next stage in life, your next career, your next big jump, whatever that is. You're going to have to dig deep so that you can uncover these bones about you, really see you, remove the veil, remove the masks, all of these things, and really get to your true authentic self. Okay, and that shadow is a part of your true authentic self. Okay, so don't run. After we get through that shadow work, and sometimes people get stuck there because it's always like, how, okay, I need to help myself, I need to do better, I need to do that. You'll know when you're in a space to where it's like enough is enough, right? Enough is enough. I've done the shadow work. Okay, I'm tired of feeling like this. It's uncomfortable. It don't feel good. The next step, another tip, really truly tapping into that self-love, self-awareness, and affirmation of self. You're going to reinvent how you think about yourself. You're going to change how you speak to yourself. Every day, a part of that routine, you're going to develop a space in there where you're talking to yourself. You're affirming yourself. Affirmations are so important. They're so important. I have a list of different affirmations depending on where I am in my life that I'm listening to. I'm listening to these at the top of my morning before I'm scrolling, before I don't take phone calls. This is my sacred time, okay? So those affirmations are helping to build me up. I'm actually speaking these things to myself in my mirror. I'm high-fiving myself, okay? I'm telling myself, hey, you are worthy. You are, you are seen, you are heard. You're a bad bitch. Okay, all of these things in the mornings while I'm looking in the mirror. Some people have lengthy mirror work, breath work. All of these things are tied in, but those affirmations, hearing those things on a daily, me speaking life into myself, so important. Understanding what love is, right? Love is such a commitment. And in that commitment, you have to be committed to knowing who you are and loving all of you. This is going to take you journaling, writing down the things about yourself, speaking in writing about yourself in a nice way, verbalizing these things. Sometimes I catch myself in my thoughts about if I can do something or the way I think about myself, and I'm like, let's change that. So I'll go back and I'll re-say it. I'll state it out loud because I have been a person who has the outpour to everybody else has been so positive and so good, and a lot of space was not left. Yes, hold space for yourself. A lot of space was not left for me. So now it's in overdrive, and I have to do it in order to make a healthy pattern of it. So you're gonna have to do this every day. You're gonna find ways to love yourself outside of like material things, going on walks, talking to yourself, dating yourself, spending time with yourself, finding hobbies that make you feel good. This is all a part of that love, being honest with yourself and the things that you want, that new career, that new car, that new house, that new relationship. Okay, all of these things, it's a part of that love, and you're not wrong for wanting those things. You are also not wrong for loving yourself unconditionally. That has to be in order for us to be good everywhere. So after that shadow work, now we gotta love. We gotta reaffirm. Okay, we have to be self-aware of the things that we are consuming that might dim this, that might hinder all of that. These relationships. Okay, being aware of all of that because it all matters. So that self-love, that affirmation, self-awareness, that is another step in this changing your life in 90 days. You must know love of self. We are looking for community. If we go back and we understand, as Black people, especially Black women, how we've naturally been pitted against one another, sold on this ideation of independence, hyper independence. We've had to take over the families in a lot of situations. We've had to be multiple roles. We don't have anything left for ourselves. We're fucking super women. We've also been taught to do things alone, okay? And don't trust another Black woman and all of these things. Eventually, that stuff, regardless of if you believe it or not, it has been seeped into our subconscious, and the way that we operate and the way that we protect ourselves. it Everybody looks different, but so many of us need community is needed. We need these outside spaces. They don't have to be our best friend, but we need community because we need these spaces, safe spaces where we can talk, where we can share resources, where we can relate to one another, where we can share that, hey, I'm going through a change. This shit is scary. I'm trying to reinvent myself. I feel stagnant. There are women all over TikTok, all over YouTube, Instagram right now in your shoes, ready to make a change, who have gone through grief, who have gone through divorce, who have gone through loss in life, and they're ready to pick the pieces up, reinvent themselves, be in their new era and find who they are outside of these relationships, these kids, these jobs, these everything. So community, it pairs us with like-minded people or people who are so different from us but can offer us a different perspective. It offers us a sense of love, a sense of protection, a sense of I'm not alone in this. Okay? And that's why it's so important for me to have this community here on YouTube that's going to empower, motivate, inspire, affirm those women who are just like you, in all different stages of life. Finding community is super important. So there are so many ways now that we have access to community. Looking on all social media, Facebook included, those are a lot of it's popularized those pages, private pages, where there are groups of women who are searching for new friendships, new advice, just anything so that they don't feel alone. Black women, for so long, we have been made to feel like we are alone. We have been alone in a lot of ways. And I'm so grateful that we're finding spaces and finding community that is inspiring us to get back on it, whatever it is, or go search for something new. But community is key. Lastly, in order to make this big change, to change your life in 90 days, one of my biggest tips is going to be to change the story. You're going to have to change the story that you have been told by others when you were little, the story you have crafted about who you are, what you do, the roles that you play. The story has to change. You have the power to change the story for your life. We have this power, and a lot of us tend not to tap into it as much, but the power to change our stories. Um, it starts with the power of the tongue, the power in our thoughts, the power in how we speak about the things that we want. We are master manifestors. And anything that we speak, and especially the things that we think and the things that we think consistently, they tend to happen, whether good or bad. So we have to reprogram our minds into thinking, into staying focused on the feelings of what a new job will bring, a new relationship, this community, my self-love, sitting in gratitude. What are those feelings that I feel when these things happen in my life or have happened? We have to take that and apply it and feel those things before we even get it. But changing the story to say, hey, even though I used to do these things or I used to have bad habits, that is not my life anymore. I don't have to subscribe to those things. I am not that same person that I was 2 days ago. Okay. And you're feeling these things intuitively for a reason. Is promoting this change. So changing the story overall is going to help clear up any confusion, and it's going to have you to focus more on what you want to attain. And that's where our energy has to go. Changing the story, it has saved my life. I'm still in the process. It's some things that I ain't let go of that I'm still in the process of coaching myself on and changing. And when it switches, you feel it. So that's going to wrap today's video. I hope this was helpful for you guys. There will be way more videos to come, more motivation, more empowerment, more tips, how-tos on how to change your life. I'll be digging deeper into those morning routines. And if there are other things that you want to tap into, ask questions below. I hope these tips were helpful, and I can't wait to hear about what's next for you. You got this.